I think it's very easy to compare yourself to others. We live in a very sensationalized society. It seems like every time you turn your phone on and go onto social media, everyone's lives are pictured in the most glamorous, perfect way. You see people riding around on a jet ski in the Bahamas. You see these kids making it big, crypto millionaires at 19. All of these people that are your age seemingly doing better than you. It seems like everyone in the entire world in some way is ahead and, succeeding more than you are can be kind of a hard feeling. Comparison can be a very destructive thing. It's like I really like this Stoic quote. It's from this guy named Epictetus. He was a Roman slave a long, long time ago, and it is comparison is the thief of joy. And I really like that because when I've thought about it, it's like if you have no point of comparison, then nothing is good or bad necessarily. In a way, it's like our judgments give power to things. Like, if you are just in a place in your life and you're ahead of where you've been at certain points and below where you've been at certain points, that's one thing. Like as long as you were not at the lowest point you've been, you have some positive point of comparison you could make. You could be like, wow, I am ahead of where I've been. But because, we have this crazy reference point that's so far out there because of, this modern connected world we live in and social media, we kind of feel ourselves falling short of these heightened expectations. Like maybe we're ahead of where we've been in the past. If we're just competing with ourselves, we're doing fine. But suddenly it seems like everyone else our age, everyone in the whole world is somehow doing better than us. And then it's hard not to let it get to you a little bit. It's like with this YouTube thing a little bit for me. It's like I've been at it for like 6 months now, and it seems like it's been kind of an up and down sort of thing where, at the start when I was doing the Minecraft series, I was doing really well and it started to fall off, and it's just gone up and down all throughout. And like at certain points, I've definitely let the feeling of comparison get to me. I'll see brand new channels making the exact same kind of content immediately doing way better than I was. Like I had to learn the hard way to get to the point I am. And even now, certain channels that are newer might be out competing me. What I've had to realize is like genuinely, no one is your competition. You are your only competition in the world because no one has your unique set of circumstances, your unique set of strengths and weaknesses. Everyone is a different person. It's like this famous Albert Einstein quote: if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will live its entire life believing it is stupid. It's like, everyone kind of has a different role. Everyone is somewhat different and will excel at specific, unique aspects of this reality. Like, I know certain friends that could not be seen necessarily as like conventionally intelligent by some people. Like maybe they don't have like the specific left brain sort of skills when it comes to, you know, being good at math or science or doing well in school, but maybe they just have a very good conceptual understanding of mechanical things. Maybe they can sit down and take apart a car perfectly and put it back together. Maybe they're smart in a social sense. Like they really, more than anyone I know, can navigate a tense situation. Like everyone kind of has their own strengths and weaknesses. And if you compare yourself to others, you might feel like in every possible way you fall short. You look out and you're like, well, the things that I'm best at, I can find people who are better than me at that. So I'm not the best at anything. And while it might be true that you are not the best at anything, there is no one with your specific unique blend of skills and talents that makes it unique. It's like, I'm not the best at anything in the entire world, but I have a unique set of skills that are somewhat particular to me because not everyone might have that same exact experience. Certain things, I'm kind of good at this thing, I'm sort of good at this thing, I, have a lot of interest in this and I pursue it to this extent, and I have my own personality and my own way of viewing the world and my own experiences. And so there is something that I'm the best suited for in the entire world. I don't know what that is, but if the opportunity presented itself, I could be made use of. And I think everyone needs to realize that because no matter what situation you're in, no matter how you feel about yourself, what you need to realize is that all of us have some inherent, powerful uniqueness about us, some like aptitude, that something in the world we could be the most suited for. And genuinely, it might be hard to believe that. You might think, oh, this dude's totally trolling me. Like, there is not some specific role on this planet that I would be the best at. But I promise there is. I genuinely think the world is vast enough and expansive enough that maybe you never find that specific role, but it does exist. It is out there. Maybe it's some tiny little tech startup. They need some specific idea man, and for some reason your experience allows you to look at it from the specific angle it requires to come up with this breakthrough idea that transforms the future of this entire company. I don't know what it is, but you need to realize, first of all, if you're trying to stop yourself from comparing yourself to others, if you're trying to win back your perception of yourself, is you are capable. You know, it is not that you are incapable. It is that the people around you have gone on different journeys and have gotten different results out of it and are different people, and you wanting what they have just makes you feel less satisfied with what you have. And also, you are capable of greatness. Like, maybe it's not the same exact path as everyone else. Maybe it won't be as glamorous or fancy, but whatever you can do in your life to, make yourself fulfilled and always be pushing forward, you can get to a point where it is, the climax of your story. It is like what was the highest potential for you specifically, the person that you are. Everyone can, at least within their own lives, excel personally and be the best they can possibly be. Like, I can be the best me. That's all I can be. I can't be the best person. I can't be the best, at any specific skill, because most likely there's too much competition in the world for that to be possible. But I am with myself each and every day down in the trenches working on me. And so I can be the best that I can be of myself by comparing myself to every previous day and not beating yourself up, but just keeping your eye on the ball, having a good self-relationship, and using that to move you forward. It's like if you're comparing yourself to others, you are in a way like judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Because maybe this person has something you don't, and maybe they've gotten something out of it, and you haven't gotten anything out of what you are now yet. But maybe, there are some downsides to who they are. Maybe we don't see that from the outside. Maybe everyone is struggling and suffering in some particular way. And the world isn't fair, so some people are going to be rewarded for their inadequacy, and others are going to be shamed for their gifts. But in general, I think that, letting go of comparison completely, because you can't control what other people are going, like what's happening in other people's lives. You can't even really control the outcomes of what you're doing, like with this YouTube thing. I can make the best video I can. That's all I can do. I can make the best video possible. I can't control the views. You know what I mean? Maybe I can, conceptualize and think about what might do well. But honestly, I've learned that just keeping at it is really the best, most consistent path. Competing with myself is really the best, most consistent path. It's like if you catch yourself wandering and looking at other people's answers, you might not realize that you're filling out different tests. You know what I mean? Like, you think you can copy him, but your test is completely different. I think that is the most accurate representation of what this life is. Like, in my opinion, I think that not everyone's story has the same ending. Like, maybe you think your story is that you want to be riding a jet ski in the Bahamas, and because you aren't at this specific age and other people are at this specific age, that somehow their story is better or they're more successful. But it's like, maybe that's just not your destiny. Maybe that's not the thing. Maybe it'll happen eventually. Maybe you will be riding a jet ski in the Bahamas, but maybe you weren't meant to go through that at this specific period of your life. Maybe there are lessons you need to learn along the way that this person will learn later on. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that everything is predestined or it's fate, but I am saying that in my own experience with my own life, I found that certain things, when I look back with hindsight, I've realized every failure, every mistake, every point of comparison genuinely has just helped make me who I am. Like, there were so many times where I sort of wished life would take it easier on me. I sort of compared my challenges to the perceived challenges of those around me, and I felt upset, and I felt like it was unfair, and I wanted my burdens to be taken off my shoulders. But now I look at where I'm at, and I know that I am only as fulfilled and successful in the ways that I value as I am because of these challenges. So in a way, like, the things we decide to compare are not always the things that are worth comparing, are not always the things that blossom into something beautiful and powerful within an individual.